Excuse me. Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to day 13 of my 31 days of October marathon of reviews. Now that we are on day 13 of my reviews for the month of October, like I said before in my previous videos, I've always explained how I'm talking about for each day for the month of October some of my personal favorite horror films of all time. Like, I've been reviewing, classic ones, underrated ones, maybe like weird ones that not many people even know about, pretty much. But anyways, now we're getting on to one of the ones that I feel is a very underrated one. It has a really, really strange concept to it too. I think it's a great one. And as you can tell by the title of the review, that review is going to be on American Gothic. Now, American Gothic was released in 1988. I believe this was, 1988. Directed by John Hough, H-O-U-G-H. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I think he's directed a couple of other films too. I could be wrong, but American Gothic is a film, I love the tagline, the family that slays together, stays together. So, like I said before, and like I said in these other reviews, I've been reviewing classic ones, underrated ones, and now this is one of the first ones where I'm reviewing one of my personal favorites. It's really a strange one, one of the more odder ones that you don't hear about much, and that I really do love, and this is one of them. So I figured this would be a good one to talk about on day 13 for the month of October. Because American Gothic is really just one of those films that is just so weird. It's a very weird film, but it's a really cool film at the same time. Because basically, you can tell from it has a pretty recognizable cast. You have Yvonne DiCarlo and Rod Steiger. Both are no longer with us anymore. They play the mother and the father of this weird family. Of course, Rod Steiger from many films that you've seen before, and Yvonne DiCarlo from The Munsters. Other cast members in the film as well. You have, Michael J. Pollard from Bonnie and Clyde, William Hootkins, who was in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and things like that. But the basic idea is that you have 6 friends who are on a weekend getaway, and they have engine trouble, pretty much. And some of the cast members of the kids, a couple of them, they might recognize Fiona Hutchinson from the soap opera Days of Our Lives. I'm pretty sure that's the soap opera she was on. And I know she had a couple appearances on the Match Game show from the 90s, too. And one of the other kids is, I believe, Mark Lindsay Chapman, who was in The Langoliers. He was the British guy in The Langoliers. He's one of the kids in this film, too. But basically, it's about these 6 friends who get engine trouble, and they end up at this house, and then they meet these 2 people named Ma and Pa, and they have their kids, who are much older kids, like in their 50s, pretty much, and then from there on, once they get there, they get picked off one by one by this crazy family, and going into this film, I remember hearing about this film a couple years ago, and I was like, "Ooh, Rod Steiger and Yvonne DiCarlo, looks pretty a pretty cool movie." And I watched it about a couple years ago because I actually have it on DVD. I found the DVD for $1, and then of course this is the new Scream Factory Blu-ray, which sadly doesn't have much for features, but hey, it's still the film on Blu-ray, and I didn't think it would ever get a Blu-ray release, so it's pretty cool that it's got an HD release. But this film I really do love. It's a very odd film, very, very weird film, a really weird concept, very weird stuff going on in this film, especially the family of these 2 people, their daughter, who looks like to be in her late 40s, early 50s, but she acts like she's a 10-year-old, and that's why I'm saying it's one of those horror films that is just really odd and out there, because it's a horror film that not many people know about, at all. And I just think this is a underrated one from the 80s. I think this is a very much an underrated gem, in my opinion. I think it's directed very well. I think the cast does a good job. I like Rod Steiger and Yvonne DiCarlo as Ma and Pa. It's really cool seeing all the other cast members. Michael J. Pollard, William Hootkins, Fiona Hutchinson, Mark Lindsay Chapman. It has some really good kills in the film as well. It's got really good kills, especially towards the end of the film. And I just think that this film just has a really cool kind of setting. This family, it's because they're really, you can tell it's based on the painting American Gothic. I just think this film has a lot going for it. I'm not gonna, it's really hard for me to review this film without giving too much away, because it's really one of those horror films where it has all kinds of twists and turns and things like that. But I feel like it's one of those horror films that you just have to go see for yourself. I mean, if you like, 80s horror films and you want a really obscure one that not many people know about, I say give this one a look, because I just think that this is a really cool movie. I think it's a really cool film. I love the music by Alan Parker. It's directed very well by John Hugh. I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name wrong, but Rod Steiger and Yvonne DiCarlo are easily the best parts of the movie. I mean, Rod Steiger and Yvonne DiCarlo are both legends. They're no longer with us anymore. And I think one of the other cast members is no longer with us anymore either. Can't remember for sure. But I think that this film just, it's a very weird idea, very weird film. But it's got a good body count. It's got good kills. I really like the cast. I like the music. I think it's directed very well. And I think American Gothic is really one of those films that you just have to go see for yourself. It's got, especially towards the end, when I'm not going to say what happens, but it's also got a really creepy ending too. It's like a really weird, creepy ending too. I'm not going to say what it is, but just go see this film for yourself, because it's a really solid 80s film for the horror genre. It's got a really recognizable cast, good music. It's a really weird plot, very weird setting as well, and I think the acting is very, very solid. I think that this film has a lot going for it, so I highly recommend you check out American Gothic. So that is pretty much it for my review for American Gothic, and thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, take care.